発目到着中。津波一発目到達中。萩原橋到達。萩原橋到達中。うわ一発目行きます。行く。これやばい。行く。ダメ。これやばい。本当やばい。いや、今動けん。これやばい。動かんほうがいい。絶対動かんほうがいい。絶対やばい。
That gathering the information as fast as possible to get the status quo. As for the lifeline services that in Ishikawa and the other areas that as of the 6 o'clock, 33,000 of the houses are blackout, and we are trying to confirm that the water and the gas that in Niigata and the other areas that the communication was disrupted, the cell phone communications, the others. As for the transportation rate at this moment, that the expressways that there are 5, 6, 7 areas that the roads are disrupted, the safe buildings. A tsunami comes in several ways, and so until that the warnings are lifted, please stay in the safe areas. Those people that who the areas of the strong jolts, there is the danger of the collapse with the houses and the other damage, and therefore to be on the alert of the tsunami.
A very powerful earthquake has struck central Japan, prompting a major tsunami warning. The 7.6 magnitude quake hit the Noto Peninsula, close to the town of Anamizu. Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has urged people in coastal areas to evacuate immediately and to move to higher ground as further earthquakes are expected in the coming hours. So these pictures that we can show you right now are the latest ones that have been coming in to us on social media. So these are not independently verified by the BBC. These are on social media just in the last hour or so. Initial reports suggesting a tsunami of 1.2 meters high has already hit the coast of Wajima City, with warnings that the waves could reach up to 5 meters. Now, more than 36,000 homes have lost power in the last couple of hours. Japan's chief cabinet secretary has confirmed there are so far no irregularities at any nuclear power plants, but the authorities are continuing to monitor for any possible damage. Now, the very latest information that we have is that a news conference with Japan's weather agency is expected to be broadcast in the next hour. And I think we can take you to live images being run by Japan's state broadcaster right at the moment. These are the live images from NHK. And they have been warning for the last hour of various levels of tsunami. You can see on the screen at the moment they're warning of a height of 3 meters and 1 meters, but we know in other parts of Japan it has been up to 5 meters. But the main thing that you can see is that in the top right of your screen, those words, evacuate immediately. That's for the coastal areas that you can see highlighted on the map.
The Sea of Japan coast. The Japan Meteorological Agency says a massive magnitude 7.6 earthquake has struck Ishikawa Prefecture in central Japan along the Japan seacoast. A major tsunami warning has been issued for the prefecture. Tsunami warnings were also issued for the prefectures of Niigata, Toyama, Yamagata, Fukui, and Hyogo, also along the Japan seacoast. This is the first time the major tsunami warning was issued since the 2011 earthquake in northeastern Japan. The warning is issued when tsunami of 3 meters or higher are expected. Tsunami advisories have been issued for the remaining prefectures on the Japan Sea coast. The city of Wajima, Ishikawa Prefecture, has observed tsunami of more than 1.2 meters at 4:21 p.m. Japan time on Monday following the quake. The city of Toyama in Toyama Prefecture also reported tsunami of 18 centimeters at 4:35 p.m. The city of Kanazawa, Ishikawa Prefecture, has observed 70 centimeters and Okushiri Island in Hokkaido observed tsunami of 50 centimeters. The port of Kashiwazaki in Niigata Prefecture and Tobishima Island off Sakata City, Yamagata Prefecture, observed tsunami of 40 centimeters at 4:36 p.m. local time. Tsunami have been reaching the Japan Sea coast. Tsunami will repeatedly hit the coast and may become higher. People in those areas must evacuate immediately, escape to higher ground, and go as far away as possible from the coast. Firefighters in Wajima City say a blaze broke out in the center of the city. Video footage shows a massive fire in the area. An official at a hospital in Suzu City in Ishikawa Prefecture says people who were injured in the earthquake have been transported there. Some doctors have been unable to reach the hospital as the roads have been damaged. The official also says the hospital is operating with a spare generator as power has been cut. Medical staff at another hospital in Wajima City have been treating patients in a parking area in the facility. Ishikawa Prefecture police officials have been gathering information on the damage caused by the quake. Reports of damages brought about by the massive quake are coming in. Police in the city of Himi in Toyama Prefecture say that they've received reports of cracks in roads at several locations as of 4:30 p.m. on Monday. An official at the municipality of Oyabe, also in Toyama Prefecture, received several reports of broken water pipes as of 4:35 p.m. In the area where tsunami warnings are issued, residents are evacuating to higher ground and elsewhere. And now we go to our domestic service with simultaneous interpretation.
Reports and also the report of the collapsed houses are reported, and so that we will keep on gathering the information as much as possible to get the status quo. As for the lifeline services that in Ishikawa and the other areas that as of the 6 o'clock, 33,000 of the houses are blackout, and we are trying to confirm that the water and the gas that in Niigata and the other areas that the communication was disrupted, the cell phone communications, the others. As for the transport.
Japan Sea coast. It's the first time the major tsunami warning was issued since the 2011 earthquake in northeastern Japan. The warning is issued when tsunami of 3 meters or higher are expected. Tsunami advisories have been issued for the remaining prefectures on the Japan Sea coast. The city of Wajima, Ishikawa Prefecture, has observed tsunami of more than 1.2 meters at 4:21 p.m. Japan time. That's almost 3 hours ago. On Monday, following the quake, the city of Toyama in Toyama Prefecture also reported tsunami of 80 centimeters at 4:35 p.m. The city of Kanazawa, Ishikawa Prefecture, has observed 70 centimeters, and Okushiri Island in Hokkaido observed tsunami of 50 centimeters. The port of Kashiwazaki in Niigata Prefecture and Tobishima Island off Sakata City, Yamagata Prefecture, observed tsunami of 40 centimeters at 4:36 p.m. Tsunami have been reaching the Japan Sea coast. Tsunami will repeatedly hit the coast and may become higher. People in those areas must evacuate immediately, escape to higher ground, and go as far away as possible from the coast. Firefighters in Wajima City say a blaze broke out in the center of the city. Video footage shows a massive fire in the area. An official at a hospital in Suzu City in Ishikawa Prefecture says people who were injured in the earthquake have been transported there. Some doctors have been unable to reach the hospital as the roads have been damaged. The official also says the hospital is operating with a spare generator as power has been cut. Medical staff at another hospital in Wajima City have been treating patients in a parking area in the facility. Ishikawa Prefecture police officials have been gathering information on damage caused by the quake.
Japanese Meteorological Agency has issued a major tsunami warning after a series of earthquakes hit Japan earlier this morning with a preliminary magnitude of 7.6.
Residents in the coastal area of Noto were asked to evacuate immediately to higher ground.
Joining us is environment journalist Nathan Rao. Good morning to you, Nathan. Now, obviously, this is a breaking news story. We're getting more information all the time, but just tell us what exactly you know at the moment.
Right, as you said, this is breaking pretty much within the last hour. This is a 7.6 magnitude earthquake on the west coast of Japan in the Ishikawa prefecture of Japan. That's about 180 miles from Tokyo. This was recorded pretty much within the last couple of hours, and the authorities have instructed people to evacuate the area and the surrounding areas of Niigata and Toyama, which is also on the west coast of Japan. Now, this is quite a big earthquake. 7.6 is quite a sizable earthquake. The Japanese are quite well versed at dealing with earthquakes. They're not uncommon. They're very common. However, the risk now is of tsunami. We only need to think back to 2011 to the major tsunami which hit Japan and caused huge amounts of damage and a huge loss of life, and that is going to be the main risk now. Also, just to point out as well, the South Korean authorities are looking at the tsunami risk on that side of the country because they're sort of straddling the sea on that side. So this is a major event for Japan on the west coast. They'll be having a conference at 9 o'clock Japan time to discuss where to go forward from here and whether further evacuations are necessary, but an evolving story and one that we're going to be watching.
Yeah, Japan's Nuclear Regulation Authority has said that no irregularities have been confirmed at nuclear power plants along the Sea of Japan, including the 5 active reactors at Kansai Electric Power Plant. But a tsunami of around 1 metre high has struck parts of the west coast along the Sea of Japan. But Nathan, a bigger wave is expected.
Yes, and there is actually a tsunami warning. There's a different magnitude to tsunami warnings right down the west coast of Japan, because as we've seen before, when these earthquakes hit and the tsunamis sort of roll in, they can affect the whole of the west coast. It's actually very good news because one of the Kansai Electric have said that the power plants are not under risk, because in 2011 that was one of the major problems, was the Fukushima power plant. That caused major problems. Thankfully, they don't seem to be too worried about that. However, I imagine they will be telling people from surrounding areas of Ishikawa to evacuate and move to higher ground this morning as a precaution, if nothing else, because when these tsunamis roll in, they roll in quick and people need to take action, and they can lead to a huge loss of life. As I mentioned, Japan is very, very well versed to earthquakes. They have about 1,500 earthquakes a year. They are on 3 tectonic plates, so they can deal with earthquakes. It is always the aftermath and the aftershocks of earthquakes that cause the major problem. That is the tsunamis or fires that are the result of the earthquakes. So that is probably what the authorities now, as we go forward, are going to be looking at as we go through the morning.
And it's not just Japan, Nathan. A tsunami warning has been issued for cities in eastern Russia as well.
Yeah, because these things spread. I mean, a tsunami, an earthquake is almost like dropping a large stone into a pond. If you can imagine, the ripple effect ripples right out. And that is what the tsunami is. I mean, a tsunami, by definition, is the movement of the water when the tectonic plates shift. It's like upturning a plate of water, and that will ripple out. So anywhere within the vicinity of the sea on the coast that is going to be affected by this earthquake is going to have a risk of tsunami. As I mentioned, it is really the west coast of Japan and South Korea that is most at risk, but also Russia is in that vicinity as well, so they will be watching it as well, all around the coast. But I think Japan primarily is going to be on the watch list this morning.
Nathan, for the moment, thank you. And if we do get any more updates, we will keep you right up to date here on GB News.
Yeah, Japan's weather agency is due to hold a news conference shortly, so that is likely to yield more information.
The epicentre is on the coast of the Sea of Japan, with a tsunami warning now stretching the entire length of Japan's west coast. The biggest dangers are in Ishikawa, Niigata, Toyama and Yamagata prefectures, where a rare major tsunami warning is in place.
A tsunami warning is in effect for parts of Japan's west coast, following the country's most powerful earthquake for more than 5 years. On the other side of the Sea of Japan, Russia's far east coast, North and South Korea are also on alert. Some 20 strong earthquakes shook central Japan's western coast. The most intense, with a magnitude of 7.6, hit the Ishikawa prefecture. Authorities have warned people along the coast to move to safety. More than 30,000 homes are without power, and the Japanese government says no irregularities have been detected at nuclear power facilities.